Welcome back to a piece of chocolate cake. I'm your host, Antonio Q. Tomasello, aka Chocolate Heat. I'm here to give you an idea, a mindset of things that are around me and my surroundings, and just what I think about, and little things here and there that come to mind, which I feed to you in a form of cake, which is again not physical, it is mental. And today I wanted to do something a little bit about myself. Something I've been thinking about for a little bit. I say that every time, but something I've been thinking about that I thought about doing a long time ago, but it really started to settle in recently, mostly just because I'm getting older, So for episode 13, I like to do my bucket list. And clearly everyone knows what the bucket list is, but if you don't, it is a list of things I actually want to do before you kick the bucket, before you die. Now, I'm not dying or anything like that, but I just thought that it would just be a good time. I'm near 30. A lot of things in life have passed. I've been having a lot of thoughts and ideas recently, and things are changing, so I thought I'd just do it. Recently, when I get off work in the days, I got a little bit of time between taking the kids to the babysitter, or picking the kid up from the babysitter, or getting home. If I get off at a decent time, I'd go, watch a movie or something by myself. Have a little bit of a peace and quiet, just to relax. And the whole time I would just people watch. I would go to the mall, I would go to outlets and stuff, and before watching a movie, I'd get something to eat or something to drink, and I just watch people, and and I watch the trends, and I watch the music and what people listen to, and you come to a realization that you're getting old, and it's not like I'm sad or anything like that, but it's just a different feeling. It's just a feeling that's hard to describe, because I never thought I'd be in this position to just look at people and be like, back in my day, So I see these young kids, and I see the clothes they wear, and I'm in my work clothes, I'm scruffy, I'm just looking beat up, and and I just people watch, and I look at couples, and I go into the movie theaters and watch people, and I enjoy myself, and I enjoy the movie, it's a good movie, and then I go home, and reality kind of sets back in a little bit. So I just thought that looking at my surroundings, and realizing the age gap and the differences, that a bucket list would be good to start, and the fact that you never know when you'll kick the bucket. God forbid anything happens, but you never know. So it's good to set some type of goals, some type of things you just always wanted to accomplish, so it just feels better to do something that you set out to do, rather than spontaneously it just magically happens one day. Yeah, of course you'll be happy, but you can set aside and say, look, I want to do this, and then you work towards it, and then you do it. It's an accomplishment. It feels great, So let's get started. So number one on my bucket list, I really wanted to do this, and simple, is skydive. I know it's actually not expensive as you think it is. It is a couple $100. You do have to take the classes. You can't just go up in the air and then magically jump out of the airplane. You got to take a couple classes and stuff like that. But I really want to skydive by myself. I really want to get to that point where it's me jumping out of a plane, because it's an adrenaline rush. I see it on movies all the time. I see friends do it, and it's a whole new experience. It's something that can't be created anywhere else. You can go on a roller coaster or something like that, but to jump out of a plane 1,000 feet in the air and to free fall to earth I can only imagine what it would feel like. So I really want to feel that. And I'm actually looking into a couple things. I'm looking into dates. I got a little bit more responsibility than before with my child, but of course I'm still looking into it because I really want to do it. I've always wanted to do it for years and years and years and years and years. But I gotta set my foot down and say, look, this is the day you're gonna do it. Get it done. This one's a little funny. If you know me, you understand where it comes from. But the second one is own a DDR machine. And for those who don't know what a DDR machine, it is the video game, the arcade game, Dance Dance Revolution. And if you don't know me, I'm very good in Dance Dance Revolution. It's kind of silly, it's kind of stupid, but yeah, Dance Dance Revolution was really big for me back in high school. I was already into video games. I love going to the arcade and playing racing games and all that stuff. But you always used to see this machine that people dance on, and everyone's crowding around, everyone's watching, everyone's looking at them, everyone's like impressed, like, how do they do that? How do they do that? That's amazing. I can never do that. And then they see all these arrows come down. They're just running their feet, and you're just watching, like, wow, how do these kids do that? How do they? So I'd watch it and I'd look at it, and I was like, that looks so crazy. But I mean, it kind of made me come out of my shell a little bit too, because when I was younger, I was a little shy. So when my mom bought me, I was telling her about it at the video game store, and she was like, oh, let's give it a try. So I bought the mat home, and I played on the mat, and learned the basics and learned here. And then finally I got enough courage and enough skill to go to the mall and start on the DDR machine. It felt so good. It just felt amazing for people to watch you be good at something, to hone your craft. You get better, and the songs get harder, and you get better, and you practice, and you fail sometimes, but you win sometimes, and you finally beat that song that's so hard that no one else is beating yet. It feels good. It feels really good to play a video game, to be recognized for it, and be watched and be loved for it. I thought DDR was amazing, and to this day I still love it. Every time I find a DDR machine, I gotta play on it. So owning one, which is I think the cheapest one is like $8,000 or something like that, and putting it like in the garage or something, that would be a dream come true. Just to have those memories, just to have those funds, just to have people over my house and my kid, playing on the machine. I think that would be amazing. For the next one, the third one would be it's simple, just owning a house. I want to be able to sit back in life and reap the benefits. To sit there and pay for a house and pay it all off, and to not have a mortgage. How good would that feel to live in a nice place and not have to pay any mortgage. I'm living in an apartment right now, and I enjoy my apartment. I love my apartment, but how would it feel at one point in time in your life to say, yeah, I ain't gotta pay this anymore? And for it to be a nice home, for somewhere to raise a child at, if I ever find someone to spend the rest of my life with, excuse me, to have a yard, to have cookouts, so owning a house is I imagine would be almost on anyone's list, but to own a house in this day and age, it's not an easy task, man. It is. Sometimes I feel like the world's against you with loans and school loans and bills, and I don't expect things to be handed to you, but in this day and age, it is rough, man. It is rough to try to get things done, especially financially. But it will happen eventually, hopefully. My mom does have a house that she's renting. She's loved that house. She doesn't want to let it go. I'm hoping to be able to. I make an okay amount, but I'd be, money would be tight if I bought the house by myself. I could maybe do it, but money would be really tight. Number 4 is involved in some shape or form in creating video games. Video games have been important to me my whole life, and I've talked about it before. So it'd be interesting to be to be able to be a part of something, a video game that I can say, look, that's me, or that's my character, that's my voice, that's something intriguing that I always wanted. And it's a little, again, it's a little silly, but I mean, to be in some way immortalized in something that people can just pick up and play is fascinating to me. What if I'm a certain character and you can play as my character or something? But I mean, with that comes a long line of developing or something, just in some form of way. I don't even have to be a voice, or maybe a name or a shout out or just something, some type of way in a video game. Number 5 is go outside the country. I have friends who've all told me about their experiences outside the country, and it's always great. I've always wanted to go. I really honestly don't travel at all. I've only been a handful of places in my life. But I really want to, and be cliche, but I really want to see the world. It's funny when you go to different countries and you see the way they act, you see the way they cook their food, you see the way social environments. It's amazing. It's such a breath of fresh air. It's so different, than going to a different state. You go to a different country and they do something totally different, or you go to a different country and it's like, oh, you can't do that here. That's it's a little disrespectful. It's all interesting, So I really want to go to like Japan. I heard they party hard at the bottom of Mount Fuji. I want to go to like the late night Japan, like bars and little mini bars that fit like 5 to 10 people. They're all lined up for like when people get off late at work and they have a nice meal, some food, some drinks. I really want to go to Australia. I to see like Australian people, like just simply just to see Australian people. And stupid see kangaroos or anything. Like it's just amazing. I want to go to Africa. I want to see Egypt. I want to go to Russia. How massive Russia is. All these cool places. I want to go. It's just like so many places you just want to see. You just want to experience. And it would be a little bit rough again because I got my responsibilities. I got my jobs. But there's something to look forward to. There's something to put the mindset to. I want to go to Germany. There's so many cool places. But yeah, I want to go outside the country. 6 is a little bit along the lines of 5, but I find it interesting. Do you ever see a postcard or a picture and you're like, wow, this picture is phenomenal. This picture is amazing. It'd be like crystal clear waters, or it'd be like the rainforest at a certain light. It'd be like the deep forest, mountain, Rockies. Like I want to take a postcard and actually go to that spot that person took that picture at. And it sounds weird, but like it just to be there and that ambience, just like you look at the picture and like this is where I'm at. Like you hold the picture up and you look at it and you take the picture down. This is where you're at. This is, I got here. I find it would be very like very exploratory, or is that a word? Whatever. Exploratory? I don't know. If you would just find a picture, no like context or anything, just to figure out, say, okay, I'm going to figure out what this picture is. You find out and then you go there. How amazing would that be? It's just a little funny, but I thought I'd just throw that in there. Number 7. Find that special someone. Now, I've talked about this before in my podcast about what is love and all that. But I'll just brush up on it real quick. There are people in this world that you like. There are people in this world that you have love for. But what is that like deep love for someone that you just want to be with them all the time? You just want to be around them all the time. Like that special someone, how romantic it is. Just you guys find each other and you just have this deep connection. I've never had that before, you know. I've had a drastic love for some people. Some people got close, but I never had a deep like lust for anyone. So finding that special someone is amazing. Like I said, I love hearing stories. You know, we were both at a concert and then we bumped into each other and, you know, we like the same stuff. Like, I think it'd be amazing if there was a girl who was as nerdy as me, who liked all the stuff, who has a good personality, who can take a joke, who respects their parents, who gets the job done, who works hard. You know, I think that'd be amazing. But again, let's brush over real quick. Finding that special someone is something I really look forward to in life. 8 is simple. It's just going on a nice cruise. I've never been on a cruise. I don't think I really ever been on that many boats, to be quite honest. I think I've been on a ferry. But shit, you know, when I really think about it, I don't think I've actually been on a boat. Yeah, I don't think I have. It'd be nice to go on a cruise with someone, you know. Just the water, good food, good music, sailing from island to island. Yeah, I mean, shit, I really think about it. I don't think I've really been on a boat like that. It would be nice to just sit there and relax. You know, just have a week or something. Just going and setting shore and visiting the locals, getting some food, hopping back on, and then going to the next island. It'd be nice, man. And that's pretty simple. That's easy. Honestly, that's probably the easiest on this list, to be quite honest. But I look forward to maybe doing that one day. Number 9 is, which I can't really think about. I really haven't researched this, but maybe it's possible. Number 9 is drive over 200 miles an hour. Now, in no shape or form do I mean me getting in a car that I just bought off the lot, you know, and driving 200 miles an hour irresponsible somewhere. I mean, like, you know, maybe like I don't have to really be the driver, just to be in a car or something and they drive over 200 miles an hour. Just because, just imagine that speed, you know, like what's the fastest you've ever driven in your life? You know, the fastest I've probably ever driven, I don't think I've ever reached over 100 miles an hour. Maybe like 90, 95 miles an hour, maybe. But man, 200 miles an hour, think how time will fly. Like, think how fast you're going and what you would see. And some people are like, that's stupid, I don't care. But man, like the adrenaline for that would be amazing. You know, I mean, there's NASCAR drivers, they probably do it all the time, and Formula 1 racers. But, you know, I mean, just a typical person, man. I don't have a high performance car, so, you know, I don't want to buy one just to drive over 200 miles an hour once. But I like to experience that. This seems just so crazy. You know, I would like to do that one day. Number 10 is meet one of my icons. There's few people in this world that I really, really like and respect as far as celebrities. I mean, there's celebrities I like Daniel Craig's cool, Idris Elba's really cool. What's her name? Sandra Bullock is cool. But there's icons that I really, really appreciate their craft and their work and as individuals. One of them would be Jim Carrey. I think Jim Carrey is one of the most interesting people in the world, and one of the most interesting people that ever lived. His ideas and his thoughts and his life and what he's going through is phenomenal. Another one would be Michael Jackson. He's, you know, of course he's dead. Aside from the scandal, the man I don't think there's a person in history and that will ever exist to be as popular as Michael Jackson around the world. It is insane. If you watch his old concerts, if you watch how his fans were, there's nothing like it. His music will go on forever. His music will live on forever. His crazy number 1 hits. The man is just a legend. And again, he's dead, so you can't meet him. Barack Obama, an amazing president. I'm so glad at what he's done. Of course, you might not like him, but you can't deny that the man is a sophisticated guy. He is a human being who knows how to talk to a person. You watch him, you watch other presidents, and you watch them cringe, but like people have nothing but good things to say about Barack Obama. There might have been things in his presidency that you didn't like, which of course is fine, but you can't say the guy wasn't a bad guy. He was a guy who would go down in history as the first black president, and he's just a good guy, man. Another one would be Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle has, if you look into his old work, he is a phenomenal stand-up. He's a real stand-up too, is what I really like. Him and D.L. Hughley are phenomenal. Their comedy is not only close to home, it's funny, but it's rich. It teaches you something. They're the most amazing comics, one of the most amazing comics ever to be put on stage, and I respect and love him for that. I would love to meet Dave Chappelle. Side note, I would love to meet Scarlett Johansson. I like Scarlett Johansson. She's a great actress, but I just love her, just her personality. She seems like an amazing person. She's gorgeous, beyond all belief. But I mean, she's not, game changing like the other ones, like I said, but Scarlett Johansson is, she's a good looking lady, man. I had one more icon, but I can't remember who it was. Oh well. Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan, if you don't know, is a martial artist. If you look into his old work and all he's been through, this man is phenomenal. His stunts that he does, his work, his hands-on, his career, he is just a man who won't stop. He has done so much in his life. I will make a side note that I don't know much about him, and he has a daughter, I think it's a daughter recently, that he is disowning or something like that. She says it's because she is lesbian. I'm not entirely sure. I think what they said he had a affair with a actress or something, and that is where the daughter came from. So I'm not sure, so I don't know anything about that. I don't know if he's wrong, but it could be the same thing as the Manny Pacquiao. Everyone loves him, but he has some nasty things to say about homosexuals. But yeah, besides that, I don't know anything about that. I love Jackie Chan. He's one of the icons. Moving on, number 11. I've always been a big fan of cartoons. I love today's cartoons now because they're like meant for adults, really. The humor and all the stuff they put inside of them are really like adult pop culture stuff, which I think is hilarious. I love it. I love cartoons. I would love to voice a cartoon character. I've always told all the little voices and funny stuff I always make, because I make little voices all the time and I say stuff, and something like, you should voice a cartoon character or something. I was like, you know what, that would be so amazing. I would love to be one of those guys who are remembered for all the voices they did on so many different cartoons, or to make a career out of that. That'd be super amazing if I can do that. But I've always had a respect for certain people who do cartoon voices, because you go back and like, this guy did all those voices, he did this guy, I love these cartoons, I respected these cartoons, this guy was everywhere. I would love to be one of those people. Number 12 is pass my video game collection on to my son. This is really important to me. It is my hobby. It is my pastime. It is a true love of mine. I love collecting video games. I love playing video games. Video game hunting is one of my favorite things to do. Trying to find a pawn shop with old video games, or a garage sale, or a store, just searching and hunting for something new, something different, something I haven't seen before. Old video game consoles, old video games, recent video games. I love just looking at things and finding things. This is very important to me. Hopefully when my son gets older, I will try to get him into video games. If not, I still would pass on my game collection to him, and hope and wish that he would continue it, hopefully. If he wants to sell it, he can sell it. He'd probably make a nice buck out of it. I got some nice expensive pieces in here, and I do have a lot of games. If he wishes to sell it, hopefully he'll sell it when I leave the serve, because if I heard he'd sell it when I'm old, I'd probably have a heart attack. But I'll leave it up to him. But I hope he carries it on. I hope he passes on his son and passes on his son, and eventually becomes the biggest video game collection to date. That'd be amazing. I would love that. 13 is restore my dad's car. When my dad passed away a few years ago, he had left his car. This car is very important to him. I'll never forget the day that he won it. He won it from a game show, a radio talk show. And I won't say I'm responsible for it, but I will say my dad said, "Hey, make sure you remind me," because he always forgot. My dad had the worst memory, like me. He always forgot stuff. So he said, "Hey, make sure you tell me to pay my phone bill when I pass by the shopping center or whatever." So we're passing by the shopping center, and we get a little bit past. I'm like, "Oh, Dad, phone bill." He's like, "Ah, damn it!" So he busted U-turn. And this is like right before they're closing or something like that. So he goes up in there, and they're like, "Hey, we're doing a raffle for cars." I don't know if this is at the phone place or right next to it, but my dad loves these damn raffles, man. Those raffles where you put your name or number in this little slot or whatever, and next to a car or something, they'll choose you. So there was 3 names to be pulled from this raffle. So my dad filled it out. I don't know, maybe like a month later, a few weeks later, they called him up. It was like, "Sir, you've been the number 1 pick to choose the car." And there was 3 cars. One was a 69 Mustang. I can't remember the years, but it was an old Impala and an old Firebird, I think, a Thunderbird. So of course my dad loves cars. My dad loves old cars. So my dad chose the 69 Fastback Mustang, and he won it. It was one of the happiest days of his life. He just had the craziest grin on his face. He loves the car. He never let it go. My dad was always in some type of I guess debt or something. Like my dad was just always just trying to make a better life for him, but he was always in some type of debt, always owed some type of money. But he would never sell this car. This car would have solved a lot of his problems if he sold it for. It can go for a lot of money, even the way it is now. But perfectly restored the way it was, it can go for a lot of money. But he never sold it. He never sold it. So when he passed, I'm trying to jump through hoops to get this car in my name. It's not easy. But I want to restore it, and it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. It's going to cost me a lot. But to have that car back up and running again and me driving it, it would just hit home. I would hope my dad just looks at me and is happy and sees that, his legacy is not forgotten. So I would love to do that. I would love to sit down and, personally, I can't do it all by myself, but I would love to restore it. It needs some work. 14 is have my name written somewhere. The one biggest thing in life that I always wanted or wondered is just like, or really what I can say is I never want to be forgotten. One of the things I used to tell people all the time is is that when they ask me for or when I do a favor for them or something, and they try to give me something small, $5 back, $10 back, or something like that, or a ride I give them, they always try to pay me back. And I'm like, as long as you remember me, as long as if you see that I have a funeral, you come to it, as long as once in a while in your life you say, "Remember Antonio? That was a cool guy." And that's all I ask. I love to be remembered. I love when people remember me because I made an imprint into them. I love to just be remembered. So when I'm gone, I want to have my name somewhere, whether it's like the Guinness Book of World Records or something. But people like Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, like these people will be remembered forever. Their names will be written in time, and it is amazing. So clearly I'm not going to do something as big as that, but to have my name somewhere written would be amazing. I don't know, maybe I'll write a fancy poem or something that's published or something. Number 16 is take a road trip. I really want to, whether it be with a significant other or with a group of friends, it'd be nice to just take a road trip, a couple weeks, just keep driving some place to place. You know, you can take this as traveling along with the go outside the country, but you know, road trip is like a bonding kind of thing. You know, maybe find a couple places to sleep outside, maybe, you know, and then another day we'll sleep in the hotel, and then we get food here, and we keep driving and driving, like just to be on an open road or something, just a little bit. And that'd be fun, man. It'd be fun and it'd be interesting. I like to do that with a group of friends. It'd be, you know, we would never forget that. The last one is something I can probably do. Actually, no, this would be the easiest one to do in some way. Financially be easiest, but the last one is tell my exes how I really feel about them. Yeah, I know. I hold a lot of things in. I've always have. For the better, for just the better the situation, while it goes down, I always tend to keep information to myself, to keep from hurting people, to keep from hurting myself also. But there's always things I always wanted to tell my exes, and you need time to really collaborate your thought, you know, because some end bad, some end don't. Majority of my relationships don't really end that bad. I can be friends with all my exes, but there's a lot of things I haven't told them that I wish I could tell them. Whether it be just the time, whether it be them with people, to just, I don't want to make it uncomfortable. You know, just really have a raw, like, this is how I felt about you, this is how I feel about you now, you know, and hope the best for you and stuff like that. But just a raw, unedited speech to them. It's just, you know, it'd be nice to call them out of nowhere and say, hey, you know, I got a couple words to tell you. I don't need you to rebuttal after that. I don't really want you to answer anything after. I just want to say, look, this is how I felt at the time. This is why this happened. I'm sorry for this. You know, I feel this way for you, and yada yada yada. That'd be like a final, like, testament to just like to having a little bit of weight lifted, a little bit, just an understanding, the ground rule. I thought that was really interesting, you know, to put on the list. It'd be really hard to do though. But yeah, that's it. I will keep this list for as long as I can, really. We'll add more to the list, maybe take some stuff off the list, scratch off if I did it, but I would love to add some more stuff to this list. It'd be interesting. I think everyone should just set some, besides just goals in life, just a bucket list of interesting things that you want to do. You don't really need to do them, but you want to do them. So that's it. You know, god damn it, I keep forgetting to actually look up quotes and stuff like that, because I like to end my podcast on quotes. So what's that one good one I was thinking about? What was it? Whatever, I'll say the one I like. I think I already said it. Anyway, I was thinking about tattoo idea also. Victory lies beyond the horizon, or glory rise. Glory. You can victory or glory, whatever. Either or. Which means that you can never meet the horizon. But knowing that, you still charge for it. It's a lesson we all need to learn in life. You know, I think that's very important. I really like that too. But as anyway, post this again to my speaker, to my Facebook, to my YouTube, and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. You know where to find me. Chocolate Heat on everything. Let me know if you want me to do a podcast on something else. If you have any thoughts or ideas, I'd love to hear them. Thank you. Have a good day.